Well, hello everyone. How's it going? It's early in the morning now. It's Wednesday, November 23rd, 2022. We're gonna talk about NBA, we're gonna talk about NHL, and we're gonna talk about college basketball. We have all the sports, NBA and NHL, ready for a preliminary look at Wednesday. However, with college basketball, I couldn't get lines yet from us, so we're just gonna talk about today. But let's start off with NBA. So things have switched around a little bit. We have an injury report that's not all that old, not all that current, basically. So it had the Pistons earlier today, and I bet the Pistons and they won. So for some reason, there's just a lot of weird injuries going around. Brooklyn beats the Sixers, the Suns, but beat the Lakers at an underdog line now, and Sacramento does win, which we talked about today. So not a bad day for NBA. But things are moving around, and injury reports seem to be so imperative to have them current that you really can't make a wager until you see them, because you're just seeing just key players are just all over the place out. So when we talk about tomorrow here, which there is actually a pretty big slate here on Wednesday, we don't know if these injury numbers are current, and we don't know if these underdog lines are going to be good. But this Sacramento over Atlanta seems like has potential all the way down there, actually. And so that's the quick look at NBA, but we don't know too much until we see it tomorrow. I pulled down the bundle purchase that I had on the website to purchase all four algorithms, basically. If you want to copy these, just contact me. We're only 7 days left in the month, and it is really exhausting to get all this done, but I'm going to be stopping at the end of the month. But I will, obviously take payments for 1 day copies. If you need a copy of something, I'll update it for you and charge you a one-off for that, basically. So I know there's people that want to get copies of the algorithms. They're really fairly easy to update. You'll see there people have commented on that. And if it's something you're interested in, that's the way to get a copy of this and follow along with it when I'm not doing it anymore. So that's an NBA look. Let's talk about NHL. NHL 2 games. Well, we hit the exact score on one of them with the Rangers beating LA, but Buffalo gets destroyed. They were down 3-0 in the first 3 minutes of the game. I don't know what happened. Montreal gets destroyed. Sorry. Just they put up 2 goals, but that ain't going to cut it. And Buffalo gets Samuelson back. It's one of their key defensemen back, and I think that makes a difference here. There are a ton of games here on Wednesday. Ton of games. And we don't have correct goalies in here. There's a lot to look at, but says Boston once again, because they're playing so awesome, over Florida. Says St. Louis over Buffalo, but we'll have to see when stats get in there tomorrow and how they're playing. But this is a back-to-back game for Buffalo. Then it's got Rangers over Anaheim, back-to-back game for the Rangers, but still Anaheim. Vegas over Ottawa, bad line. And then we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Subscribe if you want to see a more current copy. Let's talk about college basketball. So 36-16 day, 28-24 on the spread. What happened? I can tell you that early in the day, the early games did very, very well because I bet a bunch of them and I hit all 5 that I bet in the early hours today. And that was, let's talk about what happened here. If we look at just the early games, you can see we went 7-3, and I had Bucknell, Grand Canyon, Purdue, Fort Wayne. I took East Carolina plus 11.5 for some reason because I saw this was a close game. They won. Unbelievable. And what else was there? Was it Louisiana State? Maybe, I can't remember. Might have been later. The point is it did pretty well early, and they kind of fell apart. Fairleigh Dickinson did not cover. Nevada took it to overtime and lost. That was kind of a rough one because they were a really good line. I had them, and it had them plus points, and they lost. That sucked. Tennessee Martin. Did they lose to Arkansas State? I thought they won. Tennessee Martin versus Arkansas State score. No, they lost. So that doesn't work out. However, there was a string of wins down here. Look at this. Look at 12 wins in a row between -115 and -230. If you're just taking, like 5-6 teams at a time or something, you couldn't help but hit this right here. That's a lot. That's 12 teams. How did our home teams do? 24-9. Wright State was not a true home team. Temple Richmond, not true home teams either. Temple lost to Richmond, huh? St. Joe's loses. I took that one and lost. That stunk. And then looks like Pacific loses, but this is okay. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Basically, contact me to purchase copy and subscribe to the rest of November, because I will be doing like the next 7 days. I mean, I promised everybody will do it, so I'll finish it off. But I mean, it was an interesting day, and basically what needs to happen here in this file is we need to test out ratios. So you can see that what just happened today was a 36 and 16 with a 28 and 24 spread. Well, we can change distributions, and this is the test you have to run. What if we just care about win-loss percentage as our only factor? When we refresh this, we will see that all of a sudden we only go 27 and 13, even though we also go 27 and 13 on the spread, which is kind of interesting. That's really good on the spread. But you start to see an order of things here, right? And then so that's not a great win percentage, but a good spread percentage. Well, now let's look at total points per game average as the only thing that we look at. What does that yield? 29 and 23. So, but bad against the spread. Okay, look what that does. That's not good either. How about margin of victory? That gives us a 37 and 15 day with 34 and 18 on the spread. Are you serious? So you can see that what that does is there's some interesting things to the order. And I almost want to do the order by margin. So this is all the testing you can do with this file to make this thing even better. We use these chunks of home in the middle. 24 and 8, 20 and 12. But it's interesting to see like what pops up at the top, because when you use margin of victory apparently as the only factor, you get things like Yale, who crushed Vermont. They won by 29. Like, look at the final margins of victory on these teams. And this is not including today's stats. So you've got Sam Houston, you've got winners, like you've got a lot of winners up here, and these lines are not awful. So wow, was margin of victory a very, very good factor to use. Very good. That is incredible. To put these kind of lines up here and have these teams win is astonishing. I mean, this is crazy. You hit 21 out of the top 24, and not all of these are awful lines. Wow. So margin of victory absolutely is going to get more of a bump here. Strength of schedule is not a good one. How about net adjusted rating? Let's see how the rating agencies are doing essentially on this. You get 39 and whoa. That's good. That's really good. That's top 13 teams. Margin is insane because of the way we're doing this, but wow. So this is making me want to, it makes me want to do something like this. 50, 50. See what happens there. Still 39 and 13. Our margins are out of control though. What's our scores? Yeah, our scores are insane. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But it's resulting in wins though. So when you stop using points per game as a factor as much, you don't get your scores right. You get your score of 1,374 to negative 1226. However, I do like the order that this is kicking things out in, which means we could do some changes. Point is it's endless, and I'm willing to work the endlessness on it until the end of November. And then, believe it or not, I'm just going to cold stop and completely do a bunch of other stuff. And you're not going to hear very many sports videos out of me. I'm sorry for people that watch for that, but it can't be my life all the time. I've learned it's not okay. I really like a finite deadline on stopping doing this, but I'm teaching the fisherman to fish here. I'm teaching you how to do this. So understand that there's a lot that can be done right here. Because these kind of results by manipulating those factors, creating this is pretty awesome. Because what we had, let's back up. Keep going. We're going to back up to what our original distribution was. Almost there. There we go. So this is the original distribution. And it goes 36 and 16, which is still pretty good, but it doesn't have that crazy, let's see what the string of margin is. Yeah, it's still not as good. You still are only going, 14 and 3 in the top 17 instead of 24 and 3 or whatever that was, or 21 and 3, because then you have your losses here. So it was better with that other distribution, which is why you really can spend a lot of time with this file and get it to do what you want. So that's the Sports Algorithm podcast for early here on Wednesday morning. We got to look at NBA. We got to look at NHL. I'm going to work on football next and do a football video about Thanksgiving games and the rest of the week as well. I'll just do one video for that, which will be coming up later today on Wednesday, and a bunch of other work I have to do. So good luck, everyone. I hope you picks one today. I won some of them. I think I won a very, very small amount of money today because I put Mexico on it. Round robin ticket with a bunch of basketball games, Mexico and soccer. I was like, Mexico will beat Poland. No, it's a draw. It's equally frustrating, soccer. All right, good luck, everyone. I hope you pick one today, and I hope they're winning tomorrow.